It's time for the trucker John live stream. Gonna be a good time. Oh yeah. The trucker John live stream. Come along for a good time. It's a good time, good time, good time, good time. Trucker John live stream. Gonna be a good time. Gonna be the time of your life. Gonna talk some shit. Hush your mouth. Gonna talk a little smack. Gonna talk whatever comes of it. You're gonna always wanna come back. Well yeah, it's the Trucker John live stream. He's the biggest, baddest, funniest mother you've ever seen. Watch your mouth, he's headed south. Not even sure what that means, but if it's one thing I know, the Trucker John live stream is the best thing you've ever seen. It's time for the Trucker John live stream. Gonna be a good time. Oh yeah. The Trucker John live stream. Come along for a good time. It's a good time, good time, good time, good time. Trucker John live stream. Gonna be a good time. Gonna be the time of your life. Gonna talk some shit. Hush your mouth. Gonna talk a little smack. Gonna talk whatever comes of it. You're gonna always wanna come back. Well yeah, it's the Trucker John live stream. He's the biggest, baddest, funniest mother you've ever seen. Watch your mouth, he's headed south. Not even sure what that means, but if it's one thing I know, the Trucker John live stream is the best thing you've ever seen.
Project 2025 would dismantle democracy as we know it.
He says, "You're not going to be a dictator, are you?" I said, "No, no, no, other than day one."
Is a vision of implementing a startlingly authoritarian form of the U.S. government.
Same thing with the unions. They get their little 5%. They get another 2%. They get another 3%, 4%. Then all of a sudden they're making more money than the people that own the company.
Do you do larger cuts, corporate cuts?
Yeah, I was planning on doing it. In fact,
You believe in punishment for abortion, yes or no, as a principle?
there has to be some form of punishment.
For the woman?
Yeah, there has to be some form.
What's at stake here is democracy itself. It's now Donald Trump's party, and if he's elected, the consequences will be catastrophic.
such a flagrant, toxic narcissist that he wants to take down the entire democratic system with him if he goes.
And I didn't need little Bruce Springsteen and all of these people.
Are you surprised that he's trash talking you after all this time?
Not really.
Yeah.
Anything's possible. The stewardship of the nation has been thrown away to somebody who doesn't have a clue as to what that means. Bruce Springsteen, we have a much bigger crowd than Bruce Springsteen, right? Much bigger. Hillary got Bruce Springsteen, I'll never forget. And the place was pretty full. Not full like our places are full, and I don't have a guitar.
It was okay. It was so worth it. There is no one you would rather go to a Springsteen concert in Jersey with than him. Than that guy. Brooks.
For me, the transformational piece of music was Bruce Springsteen's The River.
Okay.
Which is a journey. You know all the tracks.
Yeah.
And I'm that guy.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the moment you've been waiting for. Trucker John. Testing, testing. Can you guys hear me? Hopefully you guys can hear me okay. All right, good morning, good morning, good morning. It's 11:18 here in the Pacific time zone. Beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the House Sparks After Show Hangout with Trucker John. Hey, we got 21 watching, 22 thumbs ups. Thank you so much. Make sure you hit that thumbs up for me. Like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. I see Vitalin Green is the first one in the chat today. Hello, Vitalin. Good to see you. MJ Daniel up there says foggy up there in Olympia. It's starting to feel like fall. Now, we are back up. Like right now, it's only 81. It's supposed to be up to 91 today. And I was looking at the forecast, and we've got some days that are going to be up at 99 degrees in the next few days. And which means it could hit 100. Which I hope it doesn't, because I was really hoping that we were done with our triple digits for the rest of the year and until next June. But there's a possibility we might get up to 100 again, which sucks. But because it's been so nice and cool, and I've really enjoyed the nice, cool temperatures we've been having. But it's going to be heating up a little bit, and then it's going to drop down again. So it kind of does that this time of year. It kind of fools us with some nice, cool temps, and then another little heat wave will come through. And then hopefully that'll be it. Anyhow, Applets is here. Good to see Applets. Thanks for joining us. Fancy is here. Hello, Fancy. Nice to see you over here in the driver's lounge. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Pamela is here. Hi, Pamela. David in Grand Prairie, Texas. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us here in the trucker's lounge. Gino Maynard. Hey, Gino. Good to see you. Thanks for coming back and joining us here in the driver's lounge. Thank you so much. Roxanne Armfield. Thank you. Michael McAndrews is here. Thanks for joining us here in the driver's lounge. Gina Maynard says, Olivia Newsy and RFK Jr., what the fuck, shaking my head. I don't know anything about Olivia Newsy, but I do know that RFK Jr. and Tulsi Gabbard were here in Las Vegas, I think. Or were they already here, or are they going to be here today? I don't know. I was thinking about going to it, and then I was like, nah, I'm not going to waste my time on those losers. But I was thinking about going there just to, to film it and post it. But either I already missed it. I think I might have already missed it anyhow. But I was just like, and they always hold these things, these Trump things, in the worst, shittiest places. It's in some place I've never even heard of it. It's way out on the east side of the valley. They never hold anything in a decent place, it seems like. But anyhow. Let's see who else is here. We got Michael Andrews. I can't. Oh, he's looking for Fancy's YouTube page. I have it. Maybe we can get. I don't know. Maybe Jolie could post that page because I remember we had her in here before. Aaron West. Hey, Aaron. Good to see you. Howdy. Hey, there's Jolie. There she is. Fancy says, "Let it be known, Fancy was here before Rich." Oh, okay. I didn't even see Rich. But anyhow, oh yeah, because you are here before Rich, apparently. Oh, there's Nick Rich 56, like number 11. Good day, trucklers. Fancy's got a new one. Wes Webb's here. Trucker John raid. Oh wait, House Parks raid. Hey, Wes Webb, thanks for being here. Janelle Walker's here. Hey, Janelle, hello. How you doing? Good morning, good afternoon, good day, whatever it is, wherever you may be. Nick Rich is saying hello to everybody. Let's see. I'm just scrolling on down. Lots of greetings. Everyone's being just showing with the greatest chat on the internet right here on the old Trucker John show. Wes says good audio. Thank you, Wes. Maria Ali says Trucker John, good morning. I hear you. Need a sneeze button? Yeah, I do. There's a lot of things I need. Mike Mayberry's here. Hey everyone. Hi, TJ. Am I a regular yet? I think you're there. Maybe one more show with you showing up, and I think you'll be a regular. Yeah, just one more. Mom's Russo is here, driving. I guess Mom's Russo is driving. West Webb, we're at 86. You're at 86. Wow. Well, it's later in the day for you. It's 81 here right now. Let's see. If you notice, I did move my sign, my Trucker John sign, right there. Someone last show was saying that I should have a sign that says the name of the show or something, and I did. That's the same sign I had it, but it was down. I guess it was down over there somewhere. Yeah, now I moved it up there. Look at there. I did it. I moved it. West Webb says supposed to be cooler tomorrow. Hot from hurricanes, cool from the jet stream. And Nick Rich says 73 up there in North Shore of Lake Ontario. Maria Ali says, I like logical, factual, political podcasters because they don't shriek like the ones that spew the lies. They're calm, chill, and collected. Like moi. And smooth radio type voices because facts plus truth soothes the soul. And I am totally cool. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding with you. Jolie says, Fancy, am I posting a link to your other account or the one you're using now? So yeah, I guess Fancy has a different account now. And then so there it is, fancy. Oh, there's like 3 fancies. It's more fancy. You get more fancy with the new account. It's scientifically proven more fancy. Maria Ali says, sorry, Nick Rich, I'm not stalking you. I'm just taking your suggestions. Fancy says, hey, Trucker John, did you ever find that spider? I did not, actually. So it's probably been biting me at night, although I don't have any bites, but it's still in here somewhere. So Alvin Stoops here. Hey, Alvin, good to see you. Thanks for joining us here in the Driver's Lounge. Michael has found Fancy's YouTube channel, I guess is what it was. And he's going to send a link for his Blue Angels video. Jolie says, I'm a little bummed about it, West Webb. We're closing the pool after today. I'm ready for fall, though. Jolie, it's like Jolie has a resort or something. It's like, all right, pool is closed for the season. Sorry, folks. Maria Lee, can spiders even survive? Oh yes, yes they do. They do survive. We have lots of spiders here in Las Vegas. Nick Rich says John needs more to read. Yeah, I'm at the. I've come to the end already, so which is rare. Usually it takes me like a half an hour or something to get it. So anyhow, what's going on today? What is going on? Okay, I really haven't been able to watch any news yet today. I've been just kind of waking up. I was out Ubering last night. It was a busy night in Las Vegas. Pretty busy. Friday nights are usually busy, and last night was no exception. Apparently, there was the iHeart Radio Music Festival thing at T-Mobile Arena, and that created a pretty big traffic jam when that let out. Let's see, anything else interesting? There was something interesting I was going to bring up, and I forgot now what it was. I think it was another sort of Trump story or something, but from a passenger, but I can't remember now what it was. But there's always this thing, this misconception or something that people have. I think just the general everyday people who don't really listen like we do. I think most of us in the chat, we probably listen to some kind of political talk show, and we listen to some kind of news every single day, at least one or two shows. Like me, I'm pretty much all day watching, Hal and Randy Rhodes and Nicole and some Tom Hartman and whatever else pops up. But a lot of people, they don't do that. Like yesterday, I sort of took a break from my social media, and I decided to watch Lock and Key. I've been watching that show. I'm on season 2 now. So yesterday afternoon, because usually I watch at night, like after I'm Ubering, I'll come home and watch an episode or two. But yesterday I was like, you know what, screw it. I'm going to take a break from this social media stuff. I think so. After Hal was over, or no, wait, yesterday was Tuesday. It was after I was over. Wait, yesterday was Friday, right? So Friday, yeah, Hal was on. So after Hal, I'm getting my days mixed up. After Hal was over, I think I watched about 3 episodes of Lock and Key. And I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to enjoy my afternoon. I'm just going to take a break from everything. And I'm just going to watch, a few episodes of this. And then it was about that time after that. It was pretty close to Hal coming back on again. And I just watched some Hal, the afternoon show. So I kind of took a break from it. Sometimes you got to do that. Sometimes you got to take a little break from all the political news, all the Donald Trump horse shit. But as I was doing that, I was kind of realizing that, I think this is what a lot of people do. This is probably what most people do. I mean, not lounging around watching TV all day. I mean, most people are working. They're busy raising their families. But as far as not watching political stuff, that's probably the typical person. And maybe they'll catch a half an hour of the local news channel, and that's about it, And so that's why whatever perception most people have of Donald Trump, it's not like us. We just see him as being a criminal, really, basically, but as being a really shitty president and being a criminal and a sexual assaulter, all that kind of stuff. And so we find him really despicable, right? Most of us, I would say, in this chat room probably find him to be really despicable and gross and just really just disqualified from ever being in the White House ever again. Never should have been there in the first place. But I think most people, overwhelming majority of people, just regardless of party or anything, I think they just think of Donald Trump. They've known the name. He's been in the news. He was always on the Enquirer, and it was, there was going back to the 80s and 90s, just about his marriages and his divorces, and he's this New York City big shot billionaire. That's all really people know him from. And then the Apprentice, and the catchline, "You're fired." And so people think he's a badass. They think he's this badass businessman from New York City, and that he's a billionaire. That's what they think. That's the image, and it's carried through because I think like I said, the overwhelming majority of people, they don't spend their time listening to anything, whether it's right wing, left wing, whatever. They're busy working, they're taking care of their families, and then when they do have some spare time, they're going to watch Lock and Key or whatever, or they're going to watch The Bachelor, or they're going to watch whatever, TV. They're gonna take their mind away from their busy days and relax, right? So that's because sometimes I wonder why in the hell is this such a close race? And I think it's because of that, what I just said about people not really paying attention. And then, of course, the ones that do maybe pay attention, supposedly, whatever, they're in a bubble. They are in the Fox News, right-wing media, propaganda bubble. And so there's that, and so that's why it's so close. And that's why we can't let up, really. I mean, yeah, you take a day off every now and then, like I did yesterday. That's fine. You got to do what you got to do to sort of keep your, keep yourself from going crazy, I guess. But, I guess we got to get the news out there, get the word out there that Donald Trump is not some badass businessman from New York City. Okay, look, he's from New York City. I'll give you that much. He's supposedly a businessman. Okay, I'll give you that much. He's not very good at it. He thinks he's good at it. He thinks he's good because when you say that how many times he's filed bankruptcy, he goes, "Oh, that's smart." He thinks that's smart. And I'm not saying, look, in some cases, bankruptcy is not the best option for someone or whatever. But when you use it like he used it, he thinks it's smart. And I don't think it's smart. I don't think he's smart. And I think it seems like everything that he touches kind of turns to shit. But he thinks he's smart. But we need to just do our part, I guess, to get the word out that this guy is not. He's not good. He's not good. He's a piece of shit. And I have a cousin. I mentioned her last on I think the last show, and I've been. Just full disclosure, most of my family I have not been in actual real life contact with for a long time. But we do keep in contact a lot through Facebook. And I have this cousin, and she's a great, lovely woman, young woman, and she's got a beautiful family. She's got 4 children, and she's a great mom, absolutely great, wonderful mom, great wife. She posts a lot of videos, and you can see how she's always making a great house, a great home for those kids, but like I said, her husband is he's an army, I think he's an army chaplain, but he's also an assistant pastor at a church. They just moved to El Paso, and I don't know the details on that. If that was a military thing or a church thing, probably a military. He probably got transferred to a different station or something. But anyhow, she's a great mom, wonderful, everything else like that. But they're in this church, and they're like these holy roller type, Pentecostal type. I don't know exactly their denomination, and so she the other day she posted something. She posted, it was one of those reels, the reels they have, and it was like, it was that message. We've kind of heard that message before about how God works in mysterious ways or whatever, and has sent this man who has his flaws. He's not perfect. He has flaws, but has sent him to save America or something like that. I forget the exact thing. And of course, she was referring, and it was a picture of Trump, and she's obviously talking about Trump. And I usually don't respond to her or anyone really on Facebook, especially family. I don't like to get political or argue about politics with my family. But in this case, I just couldn't help it. So I responded to that meme that she had written about Trump just having flaws, and he's flawed, but God has sent him to save America or whatever. I just said, like, it's what I go. Here's what I wrote. I wrote, there are flaws, and then there are flaws. And I go, and I think I wrote, I forget exactly what I said. I think, it's one thing to have flaws, but this guy is a 34-time convicted felon, and he's been adjudicated sexual assaulter. I didn't put rape in there. I just put sexual assaulter. And I said something like, this guy is an awful human being. This is not just flaws, And I think that's all. And I left it at that. I sent it and left it at that. And I haven't seen anything back from her since then. But it's ridiculous to think that God has sent Trump to save America. This is what a lot of people think. I think what my cousin wrote represents what a lot of the right-wing Christians think. Right-wing Christian evangelicals. And that's what they are. They're right. I think that's an evangelical type of church that they go to. And that's what a lot of people think, that he's been sent by God. He's not perfect. He's got flaws, but God is using him nevertheless. And it's kind of frightening to think there's so many people that buy that bullshit. Look, there's one thing. Yeah, everyone has flaws. No one is perfect, but a flaw might be, I don't know, just something. Maybe you're a dick. I don't know. Maybe you're just you have a short temper, or maybe you're a little socially awkward or something. I don't know. I mean, those are kind of like flaws. I'm trying to think of a flaw. But being a fucking lifelong criminal, I think that's what I wrote in there. That he's a lifelong criminal. Who is a serial criminal. I mean, his whole life has been really of doing illegal things. That's not just a little flaw. That might be, technically that might be a flaw. I don't know, but that's not just some flaw that you could just kind of go, oh, it's just, it's just him, It's just ridiculous, and that's kind of the hurdle we have to get over. Is this people? There are a lot of people they think that God is using this guy, like we need him or something. I don't know. It's really kind of sad and disheartening. You know what I mean? And the point is also, my cousin is a really good person. I think she's a really lovely human being. A really, really nice, loving, like I said, great mother, great wife, all that stuff. And she's a really nice person. But she's a Trump supporter. And we get that all over the place. I mean, that's why it's a neck and neck race. And I'm sitting over here scratching my head, shaking my head, scratching other various body parts. And I'm like, what the fuck? Why is it so close? It shouldn't even be this close. It should be like 80-20 in favor of Kamala Harris, in my opinion. If everyone, I don't know, saw the shit that I see or read the shit that I see and watch the videos that I watch or whatever, it would be 80-20 in favor of Harris. Jolie says, yeah, welcome to the Redneck Resort. Come enjoy our above-ground pool while enjoying the views of the horses across the street and lovely dulcet sounds of the screaming donkey next door. Those are some amenities there. There are people that would pay to see that probably. Gina Maynard, RFK Jr. is a malevolent force. Absolute says, I was busy chasing deer from my garden. Dadgum deer. Those deers, they're just like big giant rats or something. I don't know. I'm just skipping down. While I was talking, you guys were talking too. So apparently, RFK Jr. had an affair with a reporter. That was the Olivia Nuzzi, I guess. I hadn't heard about that. Klaatu Barato Nitko is here. Good to see you, Klaatu. The Haitian people in Springfield, apologies to everyone. They did not know it was bad to eat hot dogs and catfish. Boom. Maria Ali says Lock and Key is fantasy sci-fi magical series was cool. Yeah, I'm in season 2. I guess there's one more season, so I think they did at least 3 seasons. I'm really enjoying the show. You know, I like it. Yeah, 6 bankruptcies, Clock 2. Yes, I think I mentioned that. Applet, who knew one could bankrupt a casino? That was smart, according to Trump. That wasn't dumb. That was smart. Donald Trump will never admit to any type of failure, you know. Yeah, Claudio Barato Nico, he borrowed money, then claimed bankruptcy, then he would keep the money he borrowed. Yeah, that was stealing. And another way people do that, you know, they take loans out, they file for bankruptcy, or they just take loans out, will run a business into the ground and just let it, you know, and just let it kind of die, but they'll take the loan money or whatever they got. That's kind of in line with vulture capitalism. That's kind of the same stuff like the Mitt Romneys of the world do, but they don't file bankruptcies. They just do the things where they take loans out and then they just let the companies wither and die. They don't put any that money they borrowed. They don't put that into the company. They put that in their pockets, right? Here's Sparksaw. Hey, I don't think I've seen you before, so thanks for being here. By the way, welcome to the Driver's Lounge. Why does need a flawed savior? Why does God need God needs evil to do good? I don't know that when it comes to religion and God and everything, all you got to do to get out of that is just say God works in mysterious ways. That's all you got to say. You know, that's a little one of those. That's one of those little get out of jail free cards. You know, it's like I don't pretend to know what God's doing. He's God. He's superior. He knows He knows all. Maria Ali says, does anyone think that there's possibilities that Trumpty Dumpty and his minions are in on the Diddy tapes and or involved? I mean, if the blank fits. I don't know. I really haven't followed that other than hearing headlines of that he's going to prison and all that kind of stuff. I don't know any really details of it. I guess I don't follow everything. I don't know. Mom's Ruza says, worst heathen since Caligula. Alvin Stoops says, Trump wants to save America for China, North Korea, and Russia. Yeah, he wants to let them have at it. Maria Ali says, that just came to my head because of other news and hip-hop podcasts I watch. Hip-hop, rap, and politics got meshed in here and there about the 90s, working hand over fist, again with visuals unintended. Michael McAndrews says, many people went along with the KKK and dumpy stump crap. Hey, Tim Farrell, one of our resident Tims is here. Good to see you, Tim. Thanks for joining us here in the Driver's Lounge. Says, I think God would choose someone other than Trump. Evangelicals that support Trump ignore what the Bible says about leaders coming to power, claiming to be heaven sent, but are all antichrists. Fancy says, Don Jr. got caught with another woman. Uh-oh. Roll. Maria Ali says, Gino Maynard, I'm sure you get the reference by me saying malevolent force. That's why I threw the reference in. Yeah, because it went right over my head. Wes Webb, The Lord works in strange way. No, the Lord, like Lord. The Lord works in strange ways. Jolie says the donkey is screaming right now. You guys all really are missing out. Yeah, that would be quite the added amenity there. Yeah. Westweb, I thought it was a goat that screamed. Delta Don, am I blocked from seeing certain chats? I don't see any comments from Tim Farrell. Do you have it on all chats? No, that's the first question I always ask. Make sure you're on all chats. But hey, Delta, by the way, good to see Delta Don in the driver's lounge. So thanks for being here. Applets sees you. And Nick says, are you on all chats? Or all messages? Whatever. However they word it. Like, okay, it says chat filter. Yeah, all messages. So go to your chat filter and make sure you're on all messages. Maria Ali says, is there any overseers set up for the campaign events money because of his multiple conflicts of donors and FEC issues by now? He shouldn't be able to go to places he hasn't paid before. House Committee Halu. Well, there's lots of places that are, the places that have stiffed him are just saying, yeah, we're not going to let you come here until you pay what you owe or whatever, and you got to pay up front now from now on. So that's why he is ending up in kind of like these weird areas that he can get. I guess there's not a lot of places he can go now because he's sort of burned a lot of bridges, Tim Farrell says, can't wait for the Kimberly Gargoyle tell-all. Yeah. That'll be something. Michael McAndrews, did you see Lev Parnas' doc on Rachel Maddow? I did not. Hey, look at there, Jolie, coming in with some memberships. 10 to be exact. Thank you so much, Jolie. Thanks for doing that. And it's always fun to see who gets them. Maria Ali got one. Midas Kevin Anderson, Tom Bias, Torvy Cat, Seha, good old Seha. Where is Seha today? Denise Wilkins, Silly Willie, Mad Spark, Z Zinkin. All right, Darcy got one. Thanks, Jolie. Appreciate that. That's really awesome of you to do that. Nick Rich says Tim can use them. I guess these emojis, the emojis. Fancy says Midas Kevin is here. Yay. Well, you don't necessarily have to be in the chat to get it, because I've noticed. Because sometimes I've had memberships gifted to me and I wasn't even watching, and you get an email notification that says you received a gift membership or whatever from a certain channel. So that doesn't mean they're lurking. Because I used to think that we see you like Silly Willie. I could see you must be lurking, but that might not necessarily be true. That they're lurking. It just means that they've, I guess, been on the channel before or something. Somehow YouTube knows where you're at, and that they'll send you a notification to your, I guess, your email or Gmail account to let you know that you've been gifted a membership. So it doesn't mean that some of these names like Z Zinkin or whatever that we don't really see that much. That doesn't mean they're lurking necessarily. So anyhow, Jolie says, getting us ready for that mysterious and elusive mom. Yes, I know. All right. Members only Monday. Let's do this. Let's make it happen. This Monday. Let's make it happen. Monday, let's shoot for like 11 a.m. because we can do just like this, like a hangout after House Sparks, but it'll be for members only. All right, hold me to it. this Monday, big announcement. I know. I think I did this last week. Big announcement. Mondays only. Members only Monday. Someday I should try to get its name straight. This Monday, and we'll do that. All right. Thanks, Jolie. Let's see. Fancy says, I am worried about Kevin. He has disappeared. Minus Kevin. Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen Minus Kevin. Applet says it means that you're subbed and allowed gifts. Right. Thank you, Applet. So thanks for that clarification. Yeah, it just means that you're subbed because you're subbed. But yeah, and then if someone gives memberships, it just randomly goes through your subs, I guess, of people who aren't already members. And that doesn't mean that you're. I used to think that, like I said, I'm repeating myself now. I used to think that it meant, oh, you're lurking, but no, it's just you're not necessarily lurking. And I'm repeating myself. I don't know why I'm repeating myself, but I am repeating myself. Maria Ali says, holy moly, Jolie. Hey, that's a good rhyme. Thank you. I appreciate it. Butterflies and goosebumps. Could we get some butterflies and goosebumps in the chat, please? No. That's a dude reference, kind of like, sort of. Anyhow, my dude, whatever. Jolie says, yeah, you don't have to be here to get the membership. It's a great way to get people back in the chat. Thank you, Jolie. That's pretty awesome. And you can always, guys, you can like, subscribe, and share. We have super chats. What's the other thing we have? Stickers. Yeah, I guess I got the super sticker thing and all that good stuff. So lots of ways to support the show. Apple says, oops, sorry, Nick Rich. I was right behind you. Delta Dawn, what time? I'm thinking 11 a.m. ish, depending on because I guess we'd do it sort of like this, where it's a hangout, and we would follow up after Hal Sparks show. I think most of us are sparklers in here. Not all of us. We don't. It's not mandatory. You don't have to be a Hal sparkler. But I would do it. But he comes on at Mondays at 9, usually 9 to 11 ish p.m. a.m. Pacific time. And so maybe I would just come in right after his show and just do like an hour, just hang out for like an hour or so. So it'd be around 11 p.m. I mean, what do I keep saying p.m.? I guess because I'm thinking of Pacific time. 11 a.m. Pacific time. Members only Monday. Members only Monday. Oh, thank you very much. Oh, thank you. Members only Monday right here. Oh. Michael Andrew says, I made it around the sun 67 times as of yesterday. Well, happy belated birthday, Michael. Congratulations on the 67. I'm going to be turning 64 in like a couple weeks. So I'm right behind you. Wes Webb says, did you get a notice if you received a membership? Oh, wait, do you get a notice if you received a membership but are not here? It should go to your Gmail account or whatever email you have on your YouTube channel when you signed in, right? Delta, are you? I am Pacific time. Yes, I am in the Pacific time zone here in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. We are Pacific time zones. Michael McAndrews is 2:54 here in Michigan, and so I'm about a minute behind because it's 11:55 here. Wes Webb, very cool. Michael McAndrews, we were both born in 1957. The year of one of the greatest cars ever made, 57 Chevy. Mr. Spock is here, so I have to try to do this. Live long and prosper. Mr. Spock. Mr. Spock says Hector, and I believe that's a chicken, one of Mr. Spock. For those of you who don't know, I believe Mr. Spock has chickens. And I believe Hector may be one of them. Hector, or maybe it's a cat, because there's like a little cat emoji. I don't know. Started singing. It's a treat. Happy birthday. Is Hector a cat or a chicken? Let us know. Don, I'm in your zone, Michael. Apples Westwave, you get an email and a notice in the bell on your YouTube page. There you go. Maria Ali says, yes, I get an email associated with your YouTube account and a notification on the YouTube notifications in the top right, like when someone is, yeah, okay. Like when someone's thumb up is, excuse me, a comment you've made somewhere on our page. Gina Maynard says, salutations at Mr. Spock. Dick Rich says, Hector is a cat. Okay, so Hector is singing. Hector the cat is singing. Mr. Spock, an old cat at TK. He's 15. That is old for a cat. Congratulations on making it to 15. I've had so many cats that they always end up getting killed somehow. They get murdered by something in the neighborhood. The longest cat we ever had, I think we actually had this cat. Great cat. The best, most coolest cat in the world. For about, I think, 7 or 8 years. And then one day we walked out and there she was in the front yard, just dead. So, I don't know. It is, shit happens, I guess. At TJ. Yeah, I figured it was at TJ. Delta Dawn is the best zone. The best zone. We're talking about zones now. You guys are in the zones. Oh, zones. Chris Walker, my cats murder everything in the neighborhood. They are little murderers, that's for sure. So maybe all that murdering kind of catches up to them at some point. Nick Rich, they're eating the pets of the people that live there. They're eating the pets. TSN Broadway is here. Rest in peace, meows. By the way, thanks for being here, TSN Broadway. Good to see you. Thanks for checking us out here in Driver's Lounge. West Webb just had a friend, old man with a bunch of cats. One of the litters was chewed up by a raccoon or something. Yuck. Right, I guess that's the circle of life. I don't know. Delta Dawn, whose B-Day? Mine was Tuesday. Oh, well, happy belated birthday to Delta Dawn also. But Michael Andrews just had his yesterday in Delta Dawn a few days ago. So happy belated birthdays. Maria Ali says, I never, ever would ever have an outdoor, I think, cat. I used to let him smell his surroundings with him in my arms, like the walls and door frames. So if he ever got out, he'd be able to find me. Chris Winkler, it's Winkler like Henry. Oh, hi, Chris, by the way. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us here in the Driver's Lounge. Mr. Spock, punter cats are the best happy cats. Yeah, I usually let them out when I have a cat. Like if I live in this apartment, I'm in an apartment now. And I don't think I would let the cat out. I know. But I've always lived in houses usually, and mostly, and so I usually let them out and let them roam because they seem like they want to roam. They want to do their shit, and they usually always come back. But I've had a cat. I had this white cat, really pretty white cat, that sometimes, man, would be gone for like weeks, and I'm like, oh, I guess that one's gone, and all of a sudden, she'd be coming back. She'd be all dirty and greasy. I'm like, what the fuck have you been doing? And I'd get her, try to clean her up. You know how cats are. They don't like to take baths, but, I'm like wiping her down and cleaning her up or whatever. And then she would hang out and be all content for a while, and then she'd take off again. And but one time she just never came back. somebody got her, I guess, or something got her, or whatever. I don't know. West Webb says, don't tell us you were born in 1957. And Elton says, flip the year, 1975. 1975. I turned 15 in 1975. Chris Winkler says, my cat brought me a fresh mouse to the door. We should have named him DoorDash. That's funny. Yeah, they'll do that sometimes. They'll bring you a bird. We used to get a lot of birds, like little birds that would show up at the doorstep or something. I think one time even a small lizard, actually, that the cat killed, but didn't like eat it or anything like that. It just kind of killed it and brought it home. Tim Farrell, we have no trolls today. You can yell at me in their place, John, if you like. Yeah, where are our trolls? I guess the trolls are taking a day off, or maybe they're just sick of me screaming at them or something. I don't know. Mr. Bob Newell, I have a question. Okay, Mr. Bob Newell, ask away. Maria Ollie says, when we moved down the hill, he found his way to the new house at least 3/4 of a mile, and he found it by just my dad leaving his shoes outside the door. He normally wouldn't. They didn't know he was gone. West Webb, we had one of those, always came back with a few tiny wild cats. We'd give them to some farm. Really? Your cat would bring other cats back home? That's kind of funny. It's like, he's going out and going, hey, I got this cool place. Come on, you guys can hang out over here. Alvin Stu watched a coyote walk down the road in front of my house last night. Alvin Stu, where are you at? I used to get coyotes all the time out in Rosamond and out in the desert here. But, where I grew up in Apple Valley, we had coyotes. They're all over the place. Let's see. West Webb graduated from high school in 75. Michael McAndrews, we have a skunk somewhere in our yard. I saw him 2 days ago. Hopefully he's not spraying all over the place. Hopefully you're only seeing him and not smelling him. Mr. Bob Newell says, who has the greatest impact on the election, Oprah or Taylor Swift? I think Taylor Swift. Maybe that's because I don't really like Oprah. But I know Oprah's huge and she has a huge fan base. I just don't like her. I can't forgive her for giving us Dr. Oz and Dr. Phil. I can't get over that. I'm sorry. To me, she's lost all credibility when she props up fucking assholes like that. So, and Taylor Swift, she's younger. I think she's bringing all the young votes in. She's more current, and everything. So I think Taylor Swift. But both very, very huge followings. So, hey, Teresa TAK is here. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us in the Driver's Lounge. Thanks for coming on in. Applet says the neighborhood cats love our yard. Gina Maynard, trolls are a Haitian delicacy. That's pretty funny. Michael McAndrew says, my cat is more cautious stepping outside now with the skunk around. Oh. Could be the skunk might be. Are skunks, are they predators of cats? Probably. There's this vicious animal world out there. Mr. Spock says, I broke my cat. I scolded her for not eating a huge mole thing. Took almost 3 years till she would leave anything, and it was a tiny mouse. Michael McAndrews says he is a young skunk and has been around for a few months now. Never smelled him. I guess they really don't do that unless they're really frightened or something, or threatened. Teresa says, I agree, TJ, about Dr. Oz and Dr. Phil. Do not like them. Yeah, and and they're just they're kind of like horrible people. And I don't know, maybe Oprah has disavowed, hanging out with them or whatever, or promoting them, because she really hasn't had a show in a long time, regular show. But still. Roxanne Alfred says, don't forget J.D. Vance, Trucker John. Oprah promoted his book. Oh, that's right, the Hillbilly Elegy thing. But I guess that was before. You might be able to give her a little bit of a pass. Maybe that was before we really knew what a big fake, phony fraud he was, I guess. I don't know. But maybe Oprah, Oprah, she's a freaking billionaire. Maybe she should do a little more, investigations on the people that she promotes. They could vet these people a little bit better. Tim Farrell says Oprah doesn't speak to the undecided like Taylor does. Yeah, that's true. The undecided, or just the sort of, I think, the Taylor crowd are the young crowd that are really kind of apathetic to voting. I think, in great part, not all. I'm not, not everyone, but, and so that brings the like the new voters in, people who wouldn't even think about registering are registering. Hey, Kimchi's here. Good to see Kimchi. Thanks for joining us here in the driver's lounge. Kimchi says, hi, beautiful, generous libs and trolls too. Hugs. Actually, I don't think we have any trolls today, Kimchi. Hugs at Trucker John. Have I told you lately how amazing you are and how much I adore you? Well, thank you so much. Thank you, Kimchi. We adore you too. That is our Kimchi. Kimchi, you are our Kimchi. Tirsa says, Oprah not a fan of her either. I mean, I think I've always thought she's okay. She's cool. She's like, I think she's a smart, nice lady. I think she's a great actress. She seems to be very reasonable. Things that she says are, I can't really think of anything that she said that I disagreed with, I guess. But I just tell you, she has this Dr. Oz and Dr. Phil. Those are the two. The first thing when I think of Oprah nowadays is like, oh God, thanks for bringing us Dr. Phil and Dr. Oz, because those guys are horrible. And maybe I'm being overcritical. Maybe I'm just overdoing that. I don't know. MJ Daniel says, if we had a cat, I would be more worried about coyotes than migrants. We even saw one on the fairway off our backyard last summer. Yeah, those coyotes, they will eat your small pets or kill them and try to eat them or whatever they do. I guess they eat them. Yeah, coyotes definitely are more of a threat to your pets than migrants. Absolutely. Bray Ali says, Jolie, mine too. Honestly, he was 1 month to 20 years old. He was my second one. That was my soul plus soulmate. He saved my life in so many ways. Not the one that was lost. My soul cat was black, ironically. Did I miss a Jolie post about a cat or something? I might have missed it somehow. Anyhow, I can't scroll all the way back. I think I missed something. It happens. Sometimes it happens. I don't see everything. So now Mrs. Fox says Oprah's a fraud. I'm not gonna go say she's a fraud. I think she's a nice lady. I think she's smart. I think she's well intentioned. But I'm not gonna say she's a fraud. I just think that Dr. Oz and Dr. Phil are fucking morons and idiots and horrible people, and I blame Oprah for bringing them upon us. That's all. TSN Broadway says my dog chased down one of those fart squirrels. I don't know what a fart squirrel is. Despite several hours of shampooing. Oh, fart squirrels, skunk. Okay. See, I don't. Yeah, so I get a little lost when people, do that. Apple's MJ Dana, we caught a cougar walking up our driveway on our critter cam. Wow. Cougars. They're beautiful animals, but you don't really want to probably come across one. You know? Maria Ali says, I don't think Oprah is trusted in politics since Phil and Oz. I don't know why she has any standing anymore. Kamala shouldn't have done the interview with her. Should have been Montel Williams to poke troll rumors. Why was that? I haven't heard. Was that supposed to be one of the guys that she had an affair with or something, or had a relationship with at one point? Maybe is that what the rumors roll? Because I'm not really familiar with it. But I don't have a problem with her going on Oprah. I mean, it was probably fine. You know, like I said, Oprah still has a huge following, a huge fan base. So I don't have a problem with it. I just, like I said, just whenever I think of Oprah, I think of those two idiots that really put into prominence and made. I'm sure Dr. Phil and both of them really probably earned millions and millions of dollars just because of their association with Oprah and with the shows and everything that they got out of it, and books and all that shit, you know. MJ Daniel, I could try and troll Trump, herpity fucking derp. How's that? It needs a little work. You might need a little work. Teresa says we have a fox in our neighborhood. Yeah, I've seen foxes, like little kid foxes and stuff. Not here in Vegas. In Vegas, I really don't see anything because you have to kind of get out on the outskirts and stuff. Although there are plenty of videos of coyotes coming into town. I haven't seen it lately, but I think especially during COVID or whatever, when things were kind of dead, and the coyotes were coming in and they were on people's cars and stuff. But just of living in the desert my entire life, I've seen lots of foxes, lots of kid foxes. It's been a long time since I've seen them, but you know, you're in certain areas, like in Barstow. We went to this drive-in theater. Me and the kids and the ex, we went to a drive-in theater. This has got to be 15 years ago, probably. I don't know. And so you're in a drive-in theater. It's nighttime. You're watching the movie, and then you see all these kind of critters walking around because they like to get the popcorn or whatever's on the ground. There's like people are always spilling popcorn and shit, right? I guess that's what it is. And your eyes kind of adjust or whatever, and you're like, oh my god, those are like little foxes. It was like these little. There must have been hundreds of them or dozens of them at least. In the drive-in, you know, and they're just like scavenging for scraps of, I guess, popcorn or whatever. Maybe a hot dog or something that fell out. But yeah, we get a little bit of everything out here. We've had mountain lions and stuff. Well, out here, I'm talking about mainly the California desert. I know it's the same out here, maybe even more so. I just haven't been out and about. You know, I haven't been out in the fields hiking or anything like that. So, Gino Maynard says most of my cats have gotten run over. That's sad. That is sad. Tim Farrell says $20, and I won't tell Oprah you said that, John. Yeah, please don't. Maria Ali, sorry I have a call going, but still watching the chat. Well, thank you, Maria Ali. Yeah, if you got to take a call, take a call. You know, but I'm glad you're still here and watching. Mr. Spock, Oprah voted disappear, and nobody would care. Enough said. Okay, not a fan. I take it. Mr. Spock, not a fan of Oprah. Josh is here. Hey, Josh, good to see you. Thanks for joining us here in the driver's lounge. Josh says, I'd imagine MAGA pickups are a bigger danger to cats than immigrants. Probably, yeah. I think that's probably fair. That's fair. Hey, David Windler's here. David says, I think Oprah did kind of a good job. Hi, Kimchi. Yeah, with Kamala and everything. Yeah, I think so. Probably. I didn't. I only watched like I think some clips of it. I didn't watch the whole thing. But I don't have a problem with that with her going on Oprah. I think it was a good move. Like I said, she's got a big fan base. Jolie says you're right about Oprah at Trucker John, giving us one ass hat excusable, but two, nope, she can't be trusted. Yeah, she's lost a little credibility with me, but still, I don't think it was a bad move to go on with Oprah on that show. It got a lot of attention, and that's what you want at this point, right? Mr. Bob Newell, I drove a '68 Cougar last night. As I'm reading the sentence, I'm thinking, oh, like you had one back in the day. But last night you drove one. I used to like those Cougars. Those were cool little cars. I've never owned one. I'm just trying to think. I've never driven one either, but I remember seeing them run around. Like when I was even in sixth grade and junior high, that seemed like that was around mid '70s or whatever. I remember seemed like there was a lot of little Cougars running around, and I'm talking about cars. All right, I was way too young to even know what the other kind of Cougar was. The third kind of Cougar. I digress. Kimchi Diddy did everyone. Yeah, I'm not really up on that story. I just know he's going to jail. I think it involves sex trafficking or some bullshit. So if he's guilty of that shit, fucking lock his ass up. Throw away the key, as far as I'm concerned. Gina Maynard, Montel and Harris dated. Oh, okay. Yeah, I never heard about that, but okay, she's allowed to date. She's allowed to have a life, and what she did years and years ago, I'm fine with that. Jolie says, Maria Ali, my cat that was almost 20, I got when I was 18 and had moved out on my own. We grew up together, but still miss her. Oh, I know, that's sad. Mr. Bob Newell, can I be a troll? Well, it's up to you. It's completely up to you. It's a free country. So if you want to be a troll, I guess that's on you, man. I can't stop you. Mountain Bike Fan is here. Good to see you, Mountain Bike. Thanks for joining us here in the Driver's Lounge. Thanks for hanging out with us. We got 41 watch and 41 thumbs up. So that's a pretty good ratio. That's a 1-to-1 ratio. All right. Mountain Bike Fan says, hi, on my bike ride yesterday evening, I went by a house and they had a sign. They had a sign of a toilet with Trump's hair, and it said, sometimes you have to flush twice in their yard. Also, Harris sign in the window. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Mr. Spock says Oprah and the Hawaiian BS, and I've said nothing but a bully with money. Yeah, I vaguely remember that. I guess I just don't keep up on that all that kind of stuff. But I vaguely remember something about what you're talking about. And yeah, and it didn't put her in a good light. Mountain Bike Fan, this house has had Democrat signs before. I gave them a thumbs up, and I was laughing. Well, there you go. And as one does. MJ Daniel, I'm allergic to cats. In high school, back around 78, we had 2 outside cats, yellow tabbies, that hung around with our 3 dogs in Walla Walla on 2 acres. And they all slept together in a mud room. Aww. That sounds cute. But I'm sorry about the allergies because, I know a lot of people that are allergic to cats, but they love cats because cats are cute and they're fun, but they just can't have them because they're allergic to them. Josh says I saw a bobcat and a fisher on the same night driving home last year. A fisher? So you saw a guy that was a fisher? I don't know. But on the same night, even. Keith believes there's a weird cougar species hanging around Mar-a-Lago. Mountain bike fan at Trisha TK. I really like it. The Trump hair on the toilet tank, just an image, but too good. Kimchi says, I'm allergic to dogs. My daughter is allergic to cats, but she adores them. Yeah, see, that's the thing. That's what I was saying. Teresa TK, Maria Ali, not all 60 plus like Oprah. Never been a fan of hers, and I am 60. I do not hate her. I don't hate her. Like I said, I don't hate her. I think she's good. Good. Well, and then, you know, putting aside the Hawaiian thing, because I don't really remember the details of it, but anyhow, mountain bike fan. If I see them outside, I will have to ask if they made the sign or bought it. It's in a upper middle class neighborhood too. Major Dale, what's wrong with Oprah? She is great. Yeah, I mean, hey, like you can. Well, according to Mr. Spock, she pulled some sort of rich person thing in Hawaii. I don't remember the details of it. And like I said, yeah, she has huge fan base. Lots of people love her. Randy Rhoads loves her. I've just always thought, and I've thought she's cool. I've never had any really problems with her. All I mean is when I think of her now, I just think of Dr. Phil and Dr. Oz and what scumbags they are, and who do we owe to having them in prominence or having their shows and everything they do. We owe it to Oprah. Tim Farrell says, funny thing is Dr. Oz has a magic supplement for Dr. Phil's baldness, and Dr. Phil can treat Dr. Oz's delusional episodic syndrome, but they never do it. That is funny, Tim Farrell. But boom. Anyhow, all right. Enough Oprah bashing for one day, all right? Mrs. Fox says, I went out for pizza toppings. Some guy wanted to do something to your moped. I had to decline. How would I get home? I guess he wanted to buy your moped? Bob Newell, which is better, Mojave Desert or Chihuahua Desert? I don't believe I've been in the Chihuahua Desert. Where is the is that in Mexico? So I don't know which one's better. And how would you measure which desert is better than another desert? I know here we have the high desert and we have the low desert. The low desert is down near Palm Springs and Indio and down there and it's a low desert because it's just barely at sea level. Maybe in some places literally a few feet above sea level, and a lot of it there's some even I think below sea level areas. So that's the low desert, and then the high desert where I grew up is in the Mojave Desert. That's Apple Valley, Victorville, Palmdale, Lancaster, and even out here. This is Mojave Desert, way out here in Nevada, and this is considered the high desert because our elevations are above 2,000 feet. A lot of places it's 2,500, 2,700 feet. Maybe even 3,000 in some places. So that's a high desert. And so I've always liked the high desert better because it's usually about 10 degrees cooler than the low desert, generally speaking. Like during the summer, if it was 105 in, let's say, Palmdale or Victorville or whatever, it would be 115 in Palm Desert or Palm Springs. And also our nights would, generally speaking, would get cooler during the summer, where it would drop down into the 80s or even to the mid 70s or something during the summertime. Whereas in the low desert, a lot of times, and that's what's been happening here in Vegas lately, which is what I found surprising, is that at nighttime during the July and August, well, it's certainly down in Palm Desert and Palm Springs. You were very, very lucky if it would go under 100 degrees And that's what's been happening here in Vegas lately. And that's kind of a new thing for the high desert, because you could almost always depend on at least dropping down, even on the hottest days, into the 80s at nighttime, you know. And the last, I'd say 5 or maybe more years now, up here in Vegas, that is beginning to be less, you know, the fewer, not the case most of the time. I know all the best words. So, and I think that has a lot to do with climate change. You know, absolutely. We just went through our hottest summer on record here in Vegas, and we had so many continuous days of 100 plus degree days that broke a record. We had, I think, another record for the most highest overnight lows. You know, all this kind of stuff. And I believe that's all climate change related, because it's not normal. It's not what I grew up with, you know. Rest in peace, irony, says Tim Farrell. Because Kimchi says, because irony died in 2016. Tim. Westwood says, my dad always wanted a cougar or a thunderbird. I like some of those old T-birds. MJ Daniels says, nice cars. I wish we still had the car our mom owned when I was in grade school. 67 Camaro SS red. Yeah, those are hot. I love those 67, 68 Camaros, the SS, the Z28. Beautiful cars. And just, you know, like that Z28 with that big, powerful motor in it. West Webb, I'm not being a very good troll, running in and out. Yeah, you're kind of, you know, subpar troll today. Mountain Bike Fan says, I bought my Cougar used and it was driven hard and put away wet. The engine looked like shit. It ran for a few months and then I started having all kinds of problems with it. What year was it? Sorry about coughing. I do need a cough button, maybe. Anyhow, Maria, I was missing the thumbs up. Sorry, I hit it immediately. Yeah, let's get those thumbs ups. Hit that like button. Mountain Bike Fan, here's the info on it. Sometimes you need to flush twice. Blue anti-Trump 2024 election, 12 by 18, horizontal yard sign, outdoor weatherproof, corrugated plastic, metal stake included by M&R. What was the price? What was the price? Nick Rich, 20 minutes past the hour, so I'm about 9 minutes behind in the chat, by the way. Azolda Zinn is here. Hey, Azolda, good to see you. Thanks for joining us here in the Driver's Lounge. Always good to see you. Azolda says, I'm torn between adopting a cat or a dog. I prefer dogs, but there are more stray cats. Yeah, if you can only get one, you can't get both, then, yeah, how do you choose? You prefer dogs, but you think that there's just more cats that need homes, I guess, apparently. So, Bob Newell, I can't hear you. I don't know what happened. Moms Russo, I'm allergic to both, but had both. Just suffer through. Yeah, I've heard of people doing that. Let's see. Mountain Bike Fan says, Teresa, I'm thinking of taking some chalk and writing convicted felon in front of some houses that have Trump signs. Be careful. Be careful with that. You don't want to get, you know, in some confrontation or something. I'm going to skip down a little bit. Josh says Fisher is like a giant weasel. Oh. I had no idea. I thought a fisher was someone who liked to go fishing. Mom's says my 18-year-old black domestic cat passed away this year. Sorry to hear that, But 18, that's a pretty good run. That's a good run, though, for a cat. Mountain bike fan. I remember the episode of Brady Bunch where Jan was allergic to the dog, but it was the dog shampoo and not the dog. Look at there. Kipshy says my cats come and go at will, but rarely leave the yard. They will defend it from the squirrels and the poor raccoon, though, and no female cats allowed. Only one male. Whores. That's pretty funny. I'm going to skip down a little bit. Mountain bike fan says, "Did Trump post I hate Oprah now?" I wouldn't put it past him. I wouldn't put it past him. Let's see. Mr. Spock says Dr. Phil uses Bird's Bee brand head scalp wax. Kimchi says I recommend getting 2 cats from the same litter. The sibling bond is beautiful to see. Oh, it sounds cute. Tawada 106, without an ocean, I can't imagine living there. I guess you're talking about the desert. It is nice to live by the beach. I got to say that. I've never lived by the beach, but just going and visiting the beach, it's always nice ocean air. I love the ocean air, the ocean breeze. If I had the money, I would move to freaking Laguna Beach or something, Let's see. MJ Daniel, just south of Mexico. Oh, the Chihuahua Desert, I guess. Just south of Mexico-Texas border. Not a big desert person, really. Although the wildflower bloom after rains is beautiful. Oh, there are beautiful things about the desert. There's beautiful things, I think, about everything. The desert can be beautiful. Mountains are beautiful. Beaches are beautiful. They all have their uniqueness. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Let's see. I've kind of skipped down a little bit. Michael McAndrews says he sold his boat, but has 2 kayaks. Yes, Michael McAndrews was doing some kayaking over the summer. I remember camping and kayaking and all that fun stuff. Mountain bike fan says I saw a beautiful red T-Bird like a 57 at a bed and breakfast a few weeks ago. It was so nice. Yeah, those cars are, especially when someone restores them and everything. They're just a sight to behold. Maria Ali says, "Okay, I'm back. I had to tell my dad I fell and I might need him to take me to UC or ER, but I have to decide as not to make more complications with my medical situation as it stands already." Well, I'm sad to hear that you fell. I hope you're going to be okay. And if you need to go to the doctor, go do it. Get your treatment or whatever. But I hope you're safe and I hope you're okay. Hey, Daniel Berry Sports Highlights is here. Good to see you. What's up, says Daniel. Thank you for joining us here in the Driver's Lounge. We're just shooting the shit. We're just having a good old shit session. Basically talking about just whatever pops into our little minds. Nick Rich 1230 in Vegas. Yeah, so now I'm about 5 minutes behind in the chat because I had to skip a lot of stuff, guys. If I skip over something, don't take it personal. Don't take it personal. It's just the way it is, Mountain bike fan says my Cougar XR7 was in 1970. The interior was nice with nice bucket seats, but the paint job was bad and the fabric roof was in bad shape. I bought it in 79. Yeah, those old cars, though, they take a lot of work to keep them up, to keep them maintained, and then if you get behind in it, then it's even more work, MJ Daniel says one of my dream cars would be the one John Wayne drove in the movie McHugh, 74 Pontiac Trans Am SS 454 classic muscle car. Yeah, I guess I missed that movie. Because I don't remember the Duke driving a Trans Am. But I remember those cars. They were pretty badass. I wanted one when I was in high school. I had a couple friends that actually got Trans Ams when they were in high school. They were from rich families, and they got some really badass Trans Ams. That was when Smokey and the Bandit was all the rage and all that. And I wanted one, but I got I was able to talk my dad into buying me a '59 El Camino for $1,500, I think, which in 1970, I guess that was 78 or so when we bought that. I think 77, 78. That was a lot of money. That was kind of a lot of money, $1,500. But it was a cool car. I love that car. 59 El Camino. And the guy that we bought it from, he was a CHP officer, and he liked to run around in that car. And then we bought it from him, and he had changed the shifter. The original shifter was on the column, but he had taken that off, and he put a Hurst 3-speed shifter in it on the floor. So that was pretty cool. And I had that for a few years. I didn't have the Trans Am, but I had the El Camino. I think I ended up liking the El Camino better. Mom's Russo, I live on the coast of Florida, never go to the beach. Well, if I lived in if I lived on a beach, it would be in California. And because I'm a California person, and I love California. I love the beaches in California. I'm trying to think. I don't think I've ever been to a beach in Florida. I've been in Florida, but it was like, in Orlando. There's no beaches there. But we went to Disney World a couple times. I'm just trying to think. I don't think we ever went to the beach. We never drove over to the coast. We did we did drive way back. My wife at the time and I, we did drive. We rented a car and drove over to like Cape Canaveral and stuff like that. But we didn't, and that's near the coast. But we didn't go to the beach. I mean, we just went and saw all the space stuff and everything. But so I don't know what their beaches are like. But the California beaches, the Southern California beaches, I think are great. And if I had the money, I would go to like Laguna Beach or somewhere down that way. And I would, like to dip my toes in the Pacific Ocean every now and then. Keith Palit is here. Keith, thanks for being here. Keith says, my first car was a '66 hardtop Mustang. The Mercury Cougar automobile was largely a design study of what slightly larger feature stuffed Mustang might look like. Yeah, they were kind of close in the design. Yeah, I could see that. And Mercury is basically a division of Ford. Teresa TAK Michael at Michael Andrews, I agree, cannot get anywhere with a Trump. Trust me, I know. I have 2 sisters who support Trump. Why? I will never know. Yeah. We all have that. We all have these family members support Trump. Michael Begandra says, I fixed up my Monte Carlo so nice, then a dude turned in front of me. And I am assuming fucked up your car. That sucks. Nick Rich 56 says, I bought a 68 MGB in 74 for $600. Took it across country, lasted about a year. Hydraulic clutch cost too much to fix. Yeah, it was probably more than what you paid for the car. Josh, I like old school vans more than sports cars now. Okay, yeah, a lot of people are doing van life, and you can convert those over to camper vans and stuff. As Old as In said, in my opinion, if you go to a Florida beach, the ones on the Atlantic coast have better waves. Well, I'm not a surfer, so I just like the nice beach, the cool air, the sea breeze, and I like the nice sandy beaches, not rocky, and all that kind of stuff. So, and most of the beaches in Southern California are really nice, and I think the weather's nice in California. All that stuff. Mom's also says my brother-in-law is a Trumpster. MJ Daniel says a mechanic we used to go to had a Sunbeam Tiger, like Get Smart, drove it on the TV show, only blue. I bet you that was pretty cool. Mountain Bike Fan says Michael McAndrews, my sister sold that old beat up Monte Carlo for $3,500. I couldn't believe she got that much. It was still running though. Wow. Wes Webb, I'm still driving a 2010 Mercury Mariner. Yeah, we know, Wes. You're waiting to buy the Mach E. You're waiting for something. I don't know what you're waiting for. Mariah Ali says, I don't know if you were over the is that the Spock emojis or whatever that are almost automatically at Mr. Spock. Held myself back just in case. I'm not over it. Michael McAndrew says my Monte Carlo was great. I just fixed it up. I had it nice for maybe 1 week. Oh man, that sucks. Wes Webb waiting for that perfect electric. Well, okay. I do believe that this might be a time to wait if you're not you know ready to jump in, because I think it is only going to get better in terms of technology, battery technology, the whole thing, infrastructure. There's still a long ways to go on the infrastructure as far as the availability of chargers if you're traveling and all that kind of stuff. Because if you're at home, you should just get a home charger if you have the means and the wherewithal. In other words, if you have a house that has a garage, then I would highly recommend just getting a home charger. But I live in an apartment, so and they don't have chargers here, so I rely on the charging network, and that needs to improve. But around here in Vegas, it's great. I mean, there's like 30 different charging stations, so they're all over the place. But in other parts of the country, they're not, because I hear people complain about it, how there's a lack of chargers. So that all needs to improve. The charger network, the availability, and also the reliability of them needs to improve. Oh, sorry about that. I think the Tesla chargers are really, really good. I think the other companies really need to improve. Eventually, although it might only the Tesla charging system, North America charging system, whatever they call it, will probably win out. But anyhow, in any case, within the next 5 to 10 years, it's going to be way better than it is now. Maria Ali says, "Oh, okay, all caught up. Back to the fun and friends with Trucker John at the helm at Trucker John. So, did we ever get to see a pic of the truck referred to in your screen name? Is there a truck? There was a truck. I do have videos. I do have lots of videos. Uh, I don't have really. I mean, I could scroll through and try to find a picture, but I don't have the truck anymore. I sold it actually about a year and a half ago. Now has it been that long, or a year ago? I guess about a year ago. I sold it, or maybe a little over a year ago. I don't know, but whatever. I guess it's over a year ago. I sold it. Yeah, and I was truck driving. I was over the road truck driving for almost 20 years. I have lots and lots and lots of videos on my channel that are from over the years of me being in the truck, and I was doing live streams from the truck, and I was also doing just videos, trucking type videos. So if you want to explore that, I mean, you could explore the my video collection. Let me just look. I guess I could try to find something and bring it up. Let's see here. I'm scrolling down. Let's see if I can find a truck, picture of the truck. Let's see here. Oof, don't want to do that one. There's truck. I have pictures of truck wrecks and stuff too. Okay, so here's me and my trucks. Let's see. We could add a couple here. Let's see. There's that one from way back when. Here's that. I'll post that. Let's see. There's me and my mom in front of a truck, one of my trucks. There's that. Let's see, what else do I want to do? There's that one. All right, and there's that one. Okay, I'll do that. All right. So here's this one. Oops, my microphone's way up crazy. Here's one of me. This is back February 2010. The truck I had, a nice black one with Schneider. I didn't own that one. I was a company driver at the time. And let's see what else we got here. There's one there, me and my mom. One of the trucks I had. Here's me over here. That's when I drove for Prime. Can't really see that truck too well. Let's see what else we got here. I guess that's about it. Well, I like this one because it's like that's one of those little magnetic type of bumper stickers that you can just throw on there. And I had that. I would put that on the back of my trailer. Make America smart again. Impeach Trump. I would actually drive down the road with that on my trailer. So there's some truck pictures of me trucking, I guess. Let me put that back there, I guess. All right, so there's that. Maria Ali says the lack of physical wrench and bolts engines is making me scoff any electric ones out of being a car girl, but have come to terms since there's so many innovations that are coming along. Yeah, it's like I said, they're going to keep improving over the next 5 to 10 years and even beyond. But so if you're not ready to get into one now, maybe you will in 5 years from now. I don't know. I mean, it's probably okay. Like, and if you're worried about, and if you're thinking about, maybe something, because I guess a lot of people care about climate change, and some people don't give a fuck about climate change, and it doesn't really make it's not part of their decision making process when buying a car. But if climate change is kind of an issue with you, and you don't want to continue driving a car that is emitting CO2 out of a tailpipe, then you might, and you're not ready for an EV. I think hybrids are a good way to go because you're using much less fuel, so they do have a smaller carbon footprint. Those type of things. So. Mom says Steiner's on her truck came to Veterans Reunion. Oh yeah, I remember seeing that. They had a few of those. Those were really pretty with the big mural thing on the side and everything. Michael McAndrews, Jolie says I missed the truck. Yeah, I know. Michael McAndrews says I had a 98 foot that I put in a 454. One time a guy wanted to race, and I actually beat him with my 98 in the engine chain down. Marie Ollier, Trucker John, nice. You had a good collection. The number sticker, I can't imagine the convos at the truck stops. West 11. I thought more like Dukes of Hazzard in my head, Mr. Spock. Hey, Moms Russo, thanks for that super sticker, $1.99. Thank you so much. That's awesome to see. Thank you. That's a great way to support the show, and I appreciate it. And it's just fun to see those because look at there, nice little cat sticker. Look, a grinning, smiling, happy cat. Thank you so much. Wes says, good vehicle. Looked at the terrain, but bought a better deal with the Mariner. Wes Webb, that Mariner, it's just like a part of you now. I don't think you can get rid of it. I think that's like a part of you. You got to keep the Mariner. I think you got to keep the Mariner. Just go buy the Mach-E and keep the Mariner also. Keith Fleet says, my current car is 16 years old. It features a Willie Coyote sticker covering a dent where a deer hit me. Well, that's one way of doing it. Sometimes people say that it's the stickers and that's keeping the car together, I guess. But Mom's Russo says, sadly, I have to tow my house, so no EV for me. Ford F-250. Hey, man, do what you got to do. You know, hey, I don't begrudge anyone. And unfortunately, the EV pickup trucks aren't quite there when it comes to towing and having any kind of range. You know what I mean? I mean, they'll tow it. They'll be able to. They could probably tow your trailer. The Lightning, F-150E Lightning, or whatever they're calling it. I'm sure the Silverado EV, which looks beautiful. If I had an extra $100,000 laying around, I would go buy me a Silverado EV because it's a beautiful truck and it gets 440 miles of range. Of course, that's empty. Now, towing, I don't know. And the Tesla Cybertrucks, I think they're pretty crappy. I don't know. I'm still up in the air because sometimes, like I say, sometimes I'll see one that has a black wrap on it or a black paint job, and with the black rims and certain angles, it looks kind of cool. But usually when I see him, I'm just like, oh, that thing's like kind of hideous. So it's kind of hideous looking, and I don't think I'm not sure what the range is when towing. It's all about range, right? And when you're towing, and you can get out of these trucks when they're empty, you can get 300 miles, 400 miles range on them. But as soon as you hitch something up to it, trailer, whether it's a work trailer or a utility trailer, well, those are kind of light, but maybe not so much. But any like a camping trailer, RVs, anything like that, anything with some weight to it, and the fucking range just goes way down, and so that's really kind of a deal killer for a lot of people, and so that's unfortunate. But you know, so if you gotta use an F-250, fine. I mean, do what you gotta do. Rock Satterfield, I drive a GMC 2012 Terrain that I ordered new and intend to drive it until it dies. Well, there you go. You're getting your money's worth, man. 2012, that's 12 years. And yeah, and that's how I tend to be with cars. You know, when I have a car, I'll have it for 10, 12 years or whatever, you know. And they're usually, you know, because I kind of, you know, I don't, generally speaking, I don't really drive the hell out of them. You know, I usually kind of, you know, I'm not going to say like I'm a total perfectionist and I keep the car in top tip shape, but you know, I don't murder the truck either, or the car, or whatever it might be. You know, so they last. I think I get more miles out of them than maybe the average person because I'm not, you know, I'm not just driving the hell out of it. I mean, I'll get a lot of miles on it, but you know, I don't run it real hard, I guess. Let's see. Mr. Spock says, got to pick 6 meat bird for processing tomorrow. Bad day tomorrow. Aw. Well, if you're going to raise birds and you're going to eat them, then I guess that's what happens. Maria Ali says, I don't know if it's a good idea or for me to put a sticker of a black cat inside a prescription bottle, pills spilled out around it saying antidepressants, take all day, every day for feelings of happiness and love. Yeah, I don't know if that's a good idea or not either. I don't know what's going on with my boom. My boom is suddenly wanting to droop on me. My boom doesn't have the lasting power that it once did. Anyhow, West Webb says there is a Equinox EV, but I don't know that much about it yet. Was hoping they might have a terrain. I know I've seen some videos done on some of these new Chevy or GMC products. They look really nice, and the range seems pretty good on them. But it's hard to know until you actually get in there and drive around and at least take a test drive. You got to test drive them, I think, to see if you really like them. But yeah, I think the EVs are the way to go for at least for passenger vehicles. Yeah, but if you're hauling stuff, if you're hauling a trailer of any weight, then I think the EV technology isn't quite there yet as far as range is concerned. Once they get that figured out, and where you can haul a anything 5,000 pounds and up, and still get 300-mile range or something, or hopefully the more the better. But let's say 300 seems to be sort of that kind of magic number. If you can get to where you can do that, then you'll see a lot of people that will be on board. But right now, I've heard things like when people have put up a travel trailer under on the like the Lightning, or even a camper, just a regular camper, that it just kills the range. They're lucky to get like 80 miles or something. I think it's less than 100 miles, which is really ridiculous. That means like every hour you're stopping to charge, and so you could make you're just adding so much time to your trip, hours and hours and hours onto a trip. So that's a kind of a deal killer. So once they get that figured out, where they can get 300 miles plus range, and you're pulling a good size load, then that will be the game changer for trucks. But I think for cars, there's so many cars out right now that are getting 300 plus miles of range, and the prices are coming down on those vehicles. Within the next 5 years, you're going to see much more affordable EVs, and that will be good for commuting, good for going to work and doing all your run around stuff that you do, and even for road trips, because I think our charging network is going to be improving. So, and that's for just regular passenger vehicles, sedans or whatever. Like I said, trucks is a whole different thing. The Tesla, they're coming out. They've been developing their big rig truck, I guess, their commercial vehicle. They're trying to get that to where you can get about a 500-mile range under, I think it's a 40-ton load. So once they do that, if you can get 500 miles, then that will change everything as far as companies wanting to buy those and use those, owner operators wanting to buy those. But that for trucking, 500 miles is sort of probably that would be the magic number for that. But there's a way to go. But then the technology is improving. We're still a few years behind, I think, in all that. Let's see. Mr. Spock, bird half the size goes for $25 at local meat shop west. I sell them for 30. Nick Rich, 4 o'clock Eastern time. So I'm about a minute behind. Gotta go. Hey, Nick Rich, thanks for being here, by the way. And I will probably be signing off in a little bit here. How long has it been? I probably got about 10 or 15 more minutes. But thanks for being here, Nick. Always good to see you. And we'll hope to see you on the next one. Maybe a members only Monday. That would be nice. Members only Monday, about 11 a.m. All right. We'll see you then. Mr. Spock, I couldn't sell them. Trade is the thing. Okay, we were talking about bird trading. Maria Ali says, I'm wondering what the number of pedestrians being hit is more prevalent between EVs versus real engine cars. In little neighborhoods, the kids playing don't really hear while they're busy playing. Yeah, I know that has come up as far as a topic of conversation. I haven't heard any or seen any data that would show if there's an increase of pedestrians being hit by these quiet cars, quiet EV cars versus a regular ICE engine, internal combustion engine. I haven't seen anything on it, so I don't know. But I know people have talked about it, and some people have said that they should put some sort of noise making thing for cars, for EVs, some sort of sound, like an artificial sound, so that people will hear them. And I know that when I'm driving, because I drive I drive a Tesla Model 3 for my Ubering, and whenever I'm in a parking lot or I'm near and I see people, I'm always very, very cautious, and I try to give them as much room as possible, or I slow down. I'm very conscientious of the fact that these cars are very silent, especially if you're going really slow like that in a parking lot. So I'm kind of like hyper aware of that, because I can see the people walking and I know they don't hear me. And then sometimes they'll sort of, maybe out of the corner of their eye, then they kind of go like, oh, they're kind of a little bit startled because like they didn't know that the car was there. And so I'm always kind of creeping up and going slow, and because I know that that's an issue. But not all drivers are as good as old Trucker John, or at least conscientious as Trucker John here, because I see a lot of cars, a lot of these Model 3s. People love to drive them fast because they're fast and they're zippy. And if they don't give a fuck if they're in a parking lot and there's people walking around. They just zip through anyhow. And I'm a shaking my head kind of guy. I'm like, fucking slow down. You're gonna fucking run somebody over, But they do that in whether it's an EV or whether it's an ICE car, anyhow. So you got to be careful when you're around pedestrians and like you say, in neighborhoods where kids are playing. I guess I'm always just kind of slow, even if I'm in an ICE car. If I'm in a neighborhood, I'm not flying through the neighborhood like some people I know. Let's see. West Webb is not sure what he's going to vape today. It's a decision. You vapors are these decisions. Mom's Russo says, just like propane, it doesn't smell. Oh, and the additive is what smells. Right. Exactly. And that's why they do, like, if you have your natural gas or whatever that goes into a home, if it's they add that rotten egg smell. They add to it, so that if you have a gas leak. Maria Ali, zippy is one way to put it. Yes, very zippy. Mom's Russo says at Trucker John 3, do you think you'll go back to long haul or maybe local? You know what? I am through. I know I have the moniker Trucker John and everything, but because I always think about it, because I do get job offers and things in my email, just because I guess I've checked into some of these truck driving jobs, and so now I'm on their mailing list, and I get truck driving offers, and they have very lucrative or enticing sign up bonuses and all that stuff, and I'm just through. I'm done. I just don't have a desire to go back on the road. I don't. And it's not like when I was driving, I was enjoying it. I loved it. But I think since I stopped, and I just felt this kind of relief of this sort of I that I didn't know was there. This sort of tension or stress or whatever. And once I stopped driving a big truck, it just was all lifted from me, and I just feel so much better. And for about 10 years, I really wasn't at home. For the last 10 years, like going back a year and a half ago, and then 10 years from that point, I was pretty much on the road almost all the time. And when I was home, it was only for like 2 nights. And then I'm back on the road for 6 or 7 weeks. And I know that's kind of my own fault. I could try to find local jobs. There are plenty of good paying jobs that are more local, where you're home every night or you're home every weekend or something like that. But they are, I don't know. And I just kind of was like, I don't know. I just didn't feel like dealing with it and looking forward. I just got into this kind of groove, I guess, or this routine of what I was doing 6, 7, 8 weeks on the road, come home for 2 or 3 nights and go and do it again. I just got into that routine of doing that. And since I stopped, and it just feels really, really good just to have my own place, and I'm in my own bed every night. And I'm just really, really, really enjoying this life now of being it's more like a regular life, And I just have no desire whatsoever to go back to truck driving. I really don't. And so if you don't want to do something, then don't do it, I guess. I don't miss it. I really don't miss it. Now, I would like to go on some road trips, in a non-working way. I would love to have maybe a motorhome or something and go on a road trip and do that kind of stuff. But I really don't want to be working in an 18-wheeler. I'm done. I'm done with it. Maria Ali says, if you're not a common sense and common courtesy person in real life, you're not a good driver. I think that's true. Hey, Robert Perez is here. Good to see you. Thanks for being here, Robert Perez. Robert says, sorry I'm late to the party, but howdy to all Democratic voters out and about. Have a great day. Well, you too, Robert Perez. Hope you're feeling better. And good to see you. Mom's Russo says, my husband still gets them too, and he's been out of it forever. He drives around with a replica of Vietnam Wall Memorial. Wow. West Webb. Captain Zippy is the name of my Mariner. It didn't have the vroom of my old Jimmy. Tiny engine sounded more zippy. But there you go. He says, I goes fast though. Well, you know why? You want to know why you goes fast? Because you don't have common sense or common courtesy, West Webb. Maria Ali says, wow, the utter definitive no more trucking is strong in you. Once you're done, you're done. My friend was a trucker. Now he's a milkman driver locally. He loves being able to be home every night. Yeah, I mean, like I said, for about, I think, at least 10 years out of that 20 years I was driving, like 10 years in a row, a decade, I was barely home. And I think it just took its toll on me. And I didn't really realize it until I stopped. And I was just like, whoa. I was like, whoa, dude. Whoa. West Webb says, at least don't tell the cops, but I had it up to 110 in Texas, all alone in a very straight road, not racing exactly. Well, I won't tell anybody if you guys don't tell anybody. I remember on I-10, now they've since changed it, but there was a stretch of I-10 where it was unlimited speed. They had no speed limit. and you were allowed to go as fast as you wanted. It was on I-10 in Texas. It was out that sort of South Texas part, southwest part of Texas, where there's basically nothing for about 100-mile stretch. And they literally, it was like and they also did that in Wyoming for a while. They've since toned it down to 80. I think 80 on both of those is the speed limit. But they, for a while there, and this is when I was driving, and so this is just within the recent past here, maybe 10 years ago or whatever, there was like this unlimited speed limit. It was almost like the Autobahn. You could go as fast as you could go 100 miles an hour. You can go 120 miles an hour. But what they were finding, I think, is that they were getting tired of scraping up people off the road. You know, people were becoming roadkill, and so they and I think, I don't know, maybe Congress said you're going to have to put a speed limit on there, or we're not going to send you some federal funding or something, because they changed it. But for a while there, there was this unlimited speed limit. And if any of you have been on that and you can back me on that, I'd appreciate that, because a lot of people think I'm full of shit. But it was I-80 in Wyoming and I-10 down in Texas. They had unlimited speed limits for about a couple of years, I think. But they've since changed it to where I think it's 80. Or they may, I'm just thinking on the Texas one, they may have even posted it. Maybe they posted it like 100-mile speed limit, 100-mile-an-hour speed limit, or something like that. It was crazy. I remember seeing it and I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. Jolie's going to tell on you, Wes. David Windler says, had old Benz, I could let go of the steering wheel at 100 miles an hour. Wow. And the thing would just drive straight down, huh? Maria Ali, hey yo, Wes Webb. Me too. You can still be zippy and fast as fuck, but still have the commons within you. My feet are weighted once behind a wheel, but know when and where to let them free. Driving is my freedom and joy. I do. I enjoy driving. I feel like driving's in my blood, because now I'm an Uber driver, and I think I've always had. I've never been like a gearhead or whatever. What do you call it? I've never been really good mechanically. Like my dad, he could tear apart an engine, but put it back together, and for some reason that gene didn't get to me. But I've always loved cars, and I've liked driving cars so much so that when I was 6 years old, my mom bought a '59 Chevy. This was not an El Camino. This was like the 4-door Chevy Impala, I guess. '59. Did they call it Impala then? I don't think it was Bel Air. I think it was Impala. But it was a '59 Chevy. And apparently she went and bought this, and I didn't know. And one day she bought this car. It was when we were living up in Fresno, and I was 6 years old. And I remember I woke up. I for some reason, maybe I heard that she was going to get a car. I don't know. But when I looked out the window and I saw the car, and I knew that was our car, I go, but I'd never seen it before. And I go, and here I am. I'm 6 years old, little 6-year-old trucker John, and I see the '59 Chevy, not a Camino, just Chevy, sedan. And I was like, oh, that's our new car. And I just, without hesitation, I ran out the house, ran straight to the car. Car was open. I get behind the wheel. There's no key in the ignition, but those ignitions, it had this little thing. You could turn the ignition without the key. If it wasn't, I guess you had to turn it all the way to where it would maybe locked or something. I don't know, but this wasn't locked, and I didn't really know that. I was just going to get in the car and like pretend like I was driving, but I went ahead and I cranked the ignition, and it started up. So I'm sitting, and I don't think my feet my feet couldn't even reach the gas pedal, but it started up even without me touching the gas or anything. And then I think I slouched down in the seat. I scooted down, and I think I remember hitting the gas pedal. And fortunately, the thing was in park. I didn't touch the gear because that one did have the shifter up on the column, and I think it was automatic, but it had the shifter up there. But so I'm just sitting in the car. I'm on the wheel, and I'm gassing it. So you couldn't even probably see my head from outside the car because I had to sit down so low in order to reach the gas pedal. But I'm like revving the engine. I'm like, roar, 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 roar. And I think my mom was still in bed. I think because I think it was like 6 a.m. or something. I woke up, or 7 a.m. probably. It was light. It was daylight, but I think everybody was in bed. And all of a sudden, my mom hears the car revving up out in the driveway, and she comes running out. She's like, "Oh my god! Oh my god!" And I think she just saw maybe the top of my head, so she knew that I was in there. And she's like, "Oh my god!" And she opens the door, and she's like, "Johnny, what are you doing? What are you doing?" And then I think she got grabbed, kind of like grabs me or gets me out and shuts the car off. She's like, "Honey, what are you doing?" And I was just like, "I love this car. This car's awesome." And she goes, "Yeah, I just got it," and everything. She goes, "But you can't. You're too little. You're too little. You can't drive it." And I was like, "I love this car. I love this car." So anyway, I've loved cars, I guess, from an early age, and I've been driving ever since. I mean, no, I wasn't really driving then, but I do remember my dad when I was even 12, 13. My dad would let me drive his truck if he was in it with me. Like if we were out in the desert or out in the mountains, like sometimes we would go out and chop wood, get firewood or whatever. And my dad would let me drive on some of these back roads, And then when I was about, I think 15 or so, I didn't have my driver's license yet. I don't think I even had my permit or anything yet. And we would we had this 53 GMC pickup. And it was a really nice truck. I really loved that truck. But the thing is, at the front end, it had a bent something in the suspension there where it would cause it. And it was really hard to fix. I think we'd never fixed it because it would have cost, I think, thousands of dollars or something. It might have been a frame issue or whatever it was, but something was bent in it. And so you couldn't go over, I think, 35 miles an hour without this really bad shimmy in the front end where it would just shake. So the fastest you could drive that car was about 30 or 35 miles an hour. So we just had it because my dad bought it, and my dad he liked old cars too, and he loved cars, and he just bought it because he thought maybe we'd fix it up or something. But then we never got around to fixing that front end problem because I guess it was just too much money or whatever. But we kept it, and we would use that, and we would take, like if we went out to the dump, to haul trash, like if we were doing a big cleaning or a big yard work, and we had a lot of tree branch trimmings or all that kind of stuff and trash. We would put it all in the truck and just take it out to the dump. And so my dad would let me drive by myself. And the dump was probably, I want to say, at least 5 miles, maybe 10 miles from our house. And I would take regular roads. It wasn't just dirt roads. It was regular streets, but it was just like kind of a back way, but taking like the regular roads, neighborhood roads. And we're out in the desert. You got to remember, out where I lived, it was pretty sparsely, like it wasn't all filled in with housing developments. It was like people had houses, and then there'd be dirt lots, and there'd be a separation between the houses, and it wasn't like a city. This is like desert living. This is desert, very rural desert life, right? But my dad would go, here's the keys, go run that to the dump. And I'm like, okay, all right, by myself. And that was such a huge thing, for me to be able to drive, on the public streets, no driver's license, no permit, anything. But there was it was such a time when there wasn't much population, I guess, and there really weren't a lot of cops out there. And my dad trusted my driving to let me do that. He just said, "Yeah, take the back way. And he knew I wasn't going to be able to go more than 30 miles an hour or thereabouts, 30, 35. So he felt pretty safe in that. But he was just like, just, take the back way and just be careful and look out for cops or whatever. And he let me do that. He would let me do that. And so, I'm saying I think driving is in my blood. I love to drive. And so then I became a truck driver. And I love driving, but like I said, it kind of took a toll on me, I think, just from being gone and on the road so much. And now I'm doing Uber, and I'm driving every night in my Uber. So I'm a driver. I guess I'm just a driver. It's in my blood. Mr. Spock says, I like driving in the military, could abuse the vehicles and not worry about them. An 85 something Iltis Jeep would do 160 kilometers per hour drafting past a truck. Heating light would go on. See, I don't drive like that. I don't abuse vehicles. West Webb, I used to love driving, Maria Lee. Now I get sore and have to stop a lot. Plus, I don't drive fast anymore. Maria Lee at Mom's Russo. I've been getting suggestions on where to go for road trips from Hal's chat fam. They've been eye-opening, and I've got a lot of amazing help because I have particulars for what environment. Yeah, go on a road trip. If you can do it, do it because it's great to see all the great stuff that this country has to offer in terms of just beautiful nature and amazing things to look at. There's so much to see. Mr. Spock says, put in neutral till heating light would go out, 100 kilometers per hour, then find another truck to draft. Jeff Curry, hey Jolie, was going to make a video of Uranus, but after Doctor, I was way too loopy. I don't even remember going past it. Roxanne Outfield, they are very comfortable. The land yachts. They were guys were talking about land yachts. I saw that. West Webb says, my dad used to let me drive on country roads, no highways. By yourself, or was your dad in the car with you? My dad let me drive by myself, and I was really proud of that at the time. Marie Ali says, West Webb, I have to get in as much as I can while my body allows. The docs know it's my only joy now that my car's gone, which was the other. So they know to keep me driving till I'm dead. Marie Ali, you're never just a driver. Mr. Spock, it's the military. You have to find the limitations of each vehicle. It's logical. Yeah, right. West Webb says, hope they can. My dad had a major stroke. The doctors would let him drive, but he still had his car. They let him go back to driving a year or so later, but should not have. Mike H is here, the original Mike H. Finally, everyone was wondering, where are our trolls today? And we were thinking the trolls must be taking the day off. So better late than never, though, Mike H. Better late than never, because I am about ready to shut her down until Monday. We're going to have Members Only Monday. Members Only Monday. Oh, thank you very much. Oh, thank you very much. Members Only Monday. We're going to shoot for 11 a.m. Pacific time on Monday. So if you're a member, it's only for members. Remember, it's only for members. So if you want to hang out on Mondays with us, you got to become a member. Jeff Curry says, got a 68 Ford pickup. When 11 or 12, I kept the gravel roads hot. West Webb, I've been trying, but dealing with people. You've been trying what? Oh, I don't know. Drive? Mike H, why do I have to be a troll? I don't know. Ask yourself that. Jolie says, John's making it sound like we missed you, Mike H. We definitely didn't. Mike H. Hello, Wes Webb. Hello, Wes's Web. Jolie, that's a question only you can answer at Mike H. Right, exactly. That's it. But anyhow, I'm just giving you a hard time, Mike H. I'm giving you a hard time. Roxanne says, sorry, I will miss Monday Trucker. I will be getting a CAT scan then. Well, Roxanne, I hope that goes well. Hopefully that all goes well. And, your health and everything is more important than my show. So I hope that that goes well. You do that. And then maybe you can catch us on the next one, the next Monday. Because I'm going to try to make that a regular Mondays thing. But Monday only, members only Monday, if I could say it right. David Windler says skunks are almost as smart as raccoons. Talk to them and they won't spray you. David Windler, are you behind in the video? We were talking about skunks about 2 hours ago, so I'm just wondering if you're caught up with us. Jolie says, hope everything's okay. Roxanne, yeah, me too. And we're all sending our positive thoughts to you. Mr. Spock, everybody is different at West Webb. That's what makes life interesting. That is true, Mr. Spock. Truer words were never spoken. Janelle says, hey, Janelle, by the way, hi. Janelle says, take care, sweetie, at Roxanne Arfield. Hope you're okay. And Rox says, thank you, Trucker John. I will plan on it. Yeah, you take care. And if we don't see you this Monday, we'll see you on the next one. Maria Ali says, been here for 30 plus years and never have been too far past Cali's east border. I have to see more of this country because there's got to be real trees and real green mountains that aren't red, for fuck's sake. Yeah, get out on the road. If you have the means and the wherewithal and the ability to do it, then I suggest you do it. There's lots of great things to see in this country. Lots of great things. David Windler says, am I getting deja vu somehow? Better ask Benny. I don't know if you're getting deja vu. Hey, Julie says, Drunker John has channel memberships. Yes, we do. And super chats. And you can also show support for the show by liking, subscribing, and sharing. Those are all great ways to help the show. And you can buy me a coffee over there and on that link, that buymeacoffee.com/JRFowlerT. Yeah, make sure you do that. One of those things are all greatly appreciated. And like I say, members only Monday. If you want to be a part of that, you need to be a member. Delta Dawn, I hope you're all right, Roxanne. See, we're all sending our best positive wishes to Roxanne. Roxanne said it's something that is suggested for past smokers. Medicare pays for it. So yeah. So I'll be turning 64 next month. So I guess I got a year to go before I can get on Medicare. And doggone it, I wish we had Medicare for all. Or at least that public option or whatever, Maybe, just maybe, if we can get Harris elected president, and maybe if we can get the House back, and maybe if we can keep the Senate, maybe we might have a chance at maybe a public option or at least expanding Medicare to lowering the age to 60 or to 55. That'd be nice. Huh? But if we elect Trump and it goes that way, then you can probably just kiss Medicare goodbye. It'll be all private. It'll be all privatized. Social Security will be on the way out, all that shit. So don't vote for Trump. Let's vote for Kamala Harris. Tim Walz ticket. Let's vote blue all down the ticket. Let's vote blue for all the things that are dear to you, like healthcare, like climate change, like job creation and wage raising like a child tax credit, all that kind of stuff. Those things that are important, that help us. It helps lift people out of poverty. If those things are dear to you, then you got to vote blue and you got to vote for Kamala Harris. I'll end it on that. Aaron says Andrea is here and we are getting ready to go to Sexy Liberal tonight. Oh, that's right. Andrea's down there. All right. Well, you guys have a great time, Aaron and Andrea. Tell Andrea that I said hi, and tell if you see Hal or whoever, just tell him that Trucker John says hello. And I wish I could be there. Have a great show. Have a great time. I heard it's just always fun. So you, Aaron, you and Andrea and everybody else have a great time over there for the show. Mr. Spock, you only look 39 today. Do you use Grecian Formula 16? I should use that on this. Here, right here. I don't need to use it on this beautiful back part. But anyhow, I'm going to grow my hair out as long as Hal's. Maybe. I don't know. All right, guys. Yeah, I'm jealous too, Gino Maynard. But have a good time, Aaron and everybody. It's going to be a great show, I'm sure. Sexy Liberal Tour. You guys, if it's in your town, I suggest you go see it and check it out. And check out Hal Sparks, too, and everybody else. And also, I'm just saying, if Andrea gets wind of this, I love Liberal Dan. Greatest show on the internet. But I think if Liberal Dan can go on Hal Sparks' show, I think Trucker John can too. That's all I'm saying. Make it happen. All right, guys. Well, I love you guys. I'll see you guys. I'll see the members on Monday, 11 a.m. Pacific time. And for those of you that don't make it on Monday, I'll see you on Tuesday at 9 a.m. Pacific time. There's the schedule over there. Am I moving the right way? Oh, wait. I got to move this way. There's the schedule. Right there. And there's the name of the show is, let's see, where is it? Right there. There's the name of the show. Someone's saying that they don't know the name of the show. It's the Trucker John live stream. That's the name of the show. All right, guys. I'll see you guys on Monday or Tuesday. All right. Bye-bye. Have a good one. Let's stretch those hamstrings.
It's time for the Trucker John live stream. Gonna be a good time. Oh yeah. The Trucker John live stream.
That was the wrong one. Intro, take 2.
Well, it's time to say goodbye. The show has come to an end. But don't be sad, no, don't you cry. We're all gonna come back and meet again. We'll have some fun times, hopefully nothing too bad. We might talk about war crimes, might talk about Baghdad. I doubt we'll talk about door chimes. But if we did, I'd be only too glad. So hostile of Easter, baby. The show is over, but could I ask you maybe I couldn't think of anything to rhyme with over. Now my whole rhyming scheme is all screwed up. Oh shit, I should have stuck to truck driving, who I tried to kid. At least when I was out there driving, I could handle a skid. But doing this live stream, baby, has been a real kid. So I hope to see y'all again right here on the Trucker John live stream. We're gonna do it again and again, right here in the Trucker John live stream. Yeah, the Trucker John live stream. We're gonna come back and do it all again. No, this ain't no dream. This is where we win, right here on the Trucker John live stream. No, this time to say goodbye. The show is coming in. Don't be sad, no, don't you cry. We're all gonna come back and meet again. Well, it's time to say goodbye. The show has come to an end. Don't be sad, no, don't you cry. We're all gonna come back and meet again. We'll have some fun times, hopefully. Nothing too bad. We might talk about war crimes, might talk about Baghdad. I doubt we'll talk about gold chimes, but if we did, I'd be on too glad. So hasta la vista, baby. The show is over, but could I ask you, maybe, to take a shower? No, that's not what I meant. But I couldn't think of anything to rhyme with over. Now my whole rhyming scheme is all screwed up. Oh shit, I should have stuck to truck driving. Who am I trying to kid? At least when I was out there driving, I could handle the skid. Doing this live stream, baby, it's been a real kid. So I hope to see y'all again, right here on the Trucker John live stream. We gonna do it again and again and again, right here in the Trucker John live stream. Yeah, the Trucker John live stream. We're gonna come back and do it all again. No, this ain't no dream. This is where we win, right here on the Trucker John kid. At least when I was out there driving, I could handle the skid. Doing this live stream, baby, it's been a real kid. So I hope to see y'all again, right here on the Trucker John live stream. We gonna do it again and again and again, right here in the Trucker John live stream. Yeah, the Trucker John live stream. We gonna come back and do it all again. No, this ain't no dream. This is where we